Start
know anything
recording
about my
here.
opponent. It was so bad.
What's going on, guys? This is Arcane Duels. I'm Coshade, and today we have Reddicediaries joining us. What's up, Red Dice?
Oh.
And we're going to have Zot joining us too. Zot, of course, joining us in a ton of great commentary in the past. Zot, what's going on with you?
Hey, Coshade, thanks for having me back.
It's always
Excited
a pleasure.
to be here.
It's always a pleasure. So, this is a game between Red Dice, the one that's in the chat right now, versus I'm gonna pronounce this hopefully correctly, but if I'm wrong, I'm sure everyone from Europe will correct me in a way that I absolutely deserve to be corrected. But I'm gonna say it's Sicherheit.
Ooh, with
That's
the SI. I would have said Sicherheit.
Sicherheit. Okay, I can see that, and I'm sorry that I'm American and terrible at these things.
That was just me guessing. So.
I don't actually know
I'm
either.
Very unfamiliar with German, so.
Probably don't need to.
I am trying to not reveal cards during this game.
Yeah, you're not very good at that.
Just because
you float your mouse all over the place.
Yeah, no stealing my book, please. Don't do that.
Red Dice doesn't want his book stolen. This is a tournament where you can actually repeat mages, unlike our other Arcane Duels tournaments. So it's one of those things where if you want to be like some players I knew back in Thunderdome and look at every game, copy down what cards they have played, and then said, I did 3 hours of research. I'm better to kill my opponent now. That's respectable too, man. I actually have no issues with that. But I'm not going to make it easy on you by just revealing cards.
Well, the question I have is, who gave you the replay?
I did.
Okay, so he's got Sicherheit highlighted, so we will see blank cards.
Yes, we will.
We probably don't need to go that fast because this one was a pretty quick match.
That's fine. We're going to be at 1 until it ends up being any sort of need for a higher speed.
Like 2 rounds. Oh god, this matchup. I hate Forcemaster.
Forcemaster. So why do you hate Forcemaster?
Just suck at playing against her because she's asymmetrical, and I actually talked about this with Julie. She has powerful interruptions like force field and force shield and deflect and all these sorts of things that you have to immediately deal with. So it's really annoying, and she also tends to be better at the melee game unless you can get eye for an eye out really early. So I just tried to stick to what I knew would work, which is Aaron plus hand at turn 1, because it's a pretty solid opening, and then against the Forcemaster, you have to get creatures out, or you're just going to get overwhelmed.
That's fair.
Yeah, but the thing about that is that because it's a Forcemaster and some of your better creatures not being psychic immune is something you have to watch out for.
Yeah, I prepped Seeking Dispel like 2 or 3 times to be like, no Mind Seize, please. That's also why I didn't get Allendale out, because he would just get murdered, like mind controlled and all sorts of terrible things. Because I didn't edit my book at all for the opponent. I just kept it standard 1 because I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, it's actually I don't know how much Sicherheit is played in the past in tournaments, but
I just don't play him.
Yeah, he's surprisingly really entertaining whenever you get a chance to like watch his games.
He's a really nice guy.
Because he's been playing for a while now. Actually, if I remember right, like years, if I remember. So, props to you, Sicherheit, for joining this tournament, man. So just to clarify, Red Dice Diary in the top left here, playing the Paladin, probably one of the more like mages we see out of Red Dice. In the bottom left, we're going to see Sicherheit playing the Forcemaster. I actually don't know Sicherheit's main mage, if that is Forcemaster or something else. But regardless, we're going to see how well he plays it here.
Sort of annoying that such a nice guy. We talked a little bit at the beginning, and then this match just ended so badly for me. Oh god. We'll get to that. So
that's fine. I mean, not to give away the results, but
it was a heartbreak. Oh lord. But anyway, no, this is a good thing. One thing I don't like about Octagon is that you can see the opponent's card number, so you can be like, oh, he has a really small book. He has not many school cards. I don't like that.
Yeah, that is a bit of an oddity of Octagon. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do to change that, but it is a system we have.
I tend to not look at what my opponent, because I feel like that's sort of cheating. Wouldn't do that in real life unless you were 5 on them or something.
I mean, there's also other weird things, such as like technically you can decide initiative before choosing your mage and
Yeah, we
things like
actually
that.
talked about that right here. I was like, oh, it's Forcemaster. I want initiative. But then I was like, no, I don't want that. Did some calculation. I was like, no, that's bad.
Interesting, yeah. So what made your decision to want to have initiative, or not?
Well, actually, I actually started planning out all of my openings up to like 4 to 5 turns for every single potential your opponent. And initiative actually really matters because if you have something, especially if you're being aggressive, like against Druid, if you attack on turn 2 or 3, it really makes a difference. So you actually need to have a plan for either or. It's not just, oh, I don't want to have it. So you need to have a plan for it. And this is a standard opening for me. I have like 3 to 7 different flex openings depending on the opponent. And because I Forcemaster and didn't know what he was going to play, I just chose a safe one, which I think was fine.
The Bridge Troll is an interesting choice for the Forcemaster.
Yeah.
Being level 3, that's actually 9 spellbook points from the Forcemaster for a really solid kind of self-supporting creature. High dice with regen's pretty strong.
Yeah, usually when I see Forcemasters play the sort of higher level creature kind of play, they usually always bring 2. And I don't know if it's because of oh man, what was this player's name that really championed that?
Grimbart.
Yeah, I think it was Grimbart. Usually, because he was the guy that did the Vampirus, if I remember right.
He had Aaron, Mageddon, and Grimson, and Julie does the bear and the vampire.
The bear vampire is the one that I've played the most of.
It's really good.
Which for anyone that doesn't know how to play Forcemaster, I highly suggest just trying a bear vampire first, just to get a basis of like, how that sort of play works. That being said, the interesting thing about Forcemaster is there's so many different styles of play that like you don't have to go this high level creature out of school kind of thing. That's kind of what I like about Forcemaster. It looks like Red Dice, you're putting down the Aaron. Looks like he chose to attack it in order to put the damage on. I like that to get the dice
because my F2
loaded.
doesn't work, so I have to attack him to get the damage on.
Oh, your F2 doesn't work. It's so weird.
I use boot camp because I have a max. So
oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to rebind the key or something like that, but that's probably too complicated. That's pretty funny, actually. That being said, it's creative.
We also saw a ritual out of the Forcemaster losing 2 life in this version of the rules.
Yeah. So that Forcemaster's down to 30 total life now.
And he's got 20 mana left, so we're going to see another big creature this next round.
We have equal mana, and this turn, the natural follow-up to Aaron in this situation would be Dorcius, because I don't want to spend mana on Martyr's Restoration right now against a Forcemaster who can easily just start smacking me down, and unless I get eye for an eye done quickly, I can be having to race with heals, and then that gets really ugly. So,
yeah, that's never a fun situation for sure.
Yeah, and I think I'm just gonna stay in the corner because I don't expect Mind's Eye and Versus or something, so I don't care.
Yeah, Dorcius is one of those really solid creatures that you see out of Holy, where it's just, I mean, even non-Holy books, you see Dorcius sometimes, just because
he's probably a little too good. Really good.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is he just has solid defense and the ability to self-heal and sort of heal a guard as well.
Really,
if they're
really
gunning for him is just super good. That being said, the Hand of Bim is also a solid choice as well. The versatility is why I really like that as a card. Another
really
card
good.
you see out of school a lot actually. Bridge Troll is going to double move, by the way. Clearly having a more aggressive stance here. I don't think Sicherheit's going to commit that, but we'll have to wait and see.
That tells me that he's not going to cast a second creature this turn because he wouldn't just leave the Bridge Troll stranded out there.
Yeah, right. It's a sort of a weird.
So I was a little. I wasn't exactly surprised, but I was interested in what he was going to do. And another thing about the hand versus regrowth question with Aaron, which is actually interesting for me personally because I back and forth on that, and I think this was like a fair strength or something. Is you think about it, the regrowth is more potent because it does healing in the upkeep. So if you have initiative, you can play with that. But the hand is more versatile because it will stay around and you can't dispel it or anything. So it really depends on the matchup. And in this one, I don't really feel like I want to give like if he mind controlled Aaron, for example, I would be able to deal with that. But regrowth on Aaron would make it even more valuable to do that. So you don't want to go down that route.
Interesting. Yeah. Do you think that the Dispel game is a little bit different now that Mage Wands are epic?
Yes, I think specifically in Wizard, if say they had 3 wands, they will probably just take out 2 of them and then put in 3 to 4 more dispel effects. So you're not gonna see as much wand game in that situation, but you're just gonna see more of the actual removal cards themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Interesting.
because I hate mage wand spam. Even though I do it, I used to do it all the time. I hate it. It's so bad.
Oh, really?
So
It's like not fun, or it's just like bad, like as a play.
I think they're not fun.
I think it's not
Here's
fun.
the thing.
Yeah.
My preferred style of gameplay in all the games I play is actually like defensive and reactive, where I will basically do what Charmine used to do, where I just weather all the damage and then attack you. I think that's a very most situations low skill way of playing, and it doesn't require many complex decisions. So I choose not to play that way because I find it boring and I don't like
Interesting.
it. What did I do?
So that being said, Sicherheit is at 28 mana going into this this
Yeah,
turn
so I'm
here.
expecting another big creature. I don't know which one, but I have a couple that will be coming.
Yeah, I'm actually expecting another big creature only because I think I've seen Forcemasters before, and generally they have 2 creatures when they do them.
Yes.
Yeah, I would not be surprised by a Leviathan.
Yeah, right?
Oh
Yeah.
god, yeah, that would have been really annoying.
Leviathan, Vampirus, what's the
Rare.
other one people are using? I mean, Zombie Brutes sometimes have them, but probably not here. But
Yeah, that wouldn't happen.
what
Because
is it?
Paladin destroyed Zombie Brute with
Yeah.
the piercing and the anti-undead, so that would not work.
Yeah, I guess, what is it? Water Ellie would actually be an okay choice.
Yeah, that's actually what happened.
Yeah.
Oh, Water Elemental. Okay, yeah. I mean, Water Elemental is a solid creature.
That actually proved really annoying in this match.
Yeah.
Specifically for a reason you'll find out later.
Yeah, I'm sure the push actually really does affect things.
That was really annoying.
Because like Dorcius has to be in the same zone, so if he uses that movement benefit, that's actually really nice.
So here I play Ballista because it's my initiative next turn, and the 2 enchantments on me right now are Air Strength and Ballad of Courage, and my plan is essentially just go in there and back the troll to death in 1 turn.
Okay, yeah, that's actually you're gonna spend some mana on that, but yeah, absolutely.
I mean, usually I tend to be on the more defensive side, so usually what I would do is just teleport the bridge troll into my zone and whack him, which obviously has problems because of force pull and things like that and movement, but you don't have teleport in the book anymore, so that obviously didn't work.
No teleports. Like, okay. Dang, that's risky.
I don't really think you need them necessarily. Okay. Even against Druid, I think it's totally fine if you prep right. You don't need them because you're like, okay, I'm in the zone. That's fine. I'll do something else, and then next turn I'll just get
fair enough. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zot, how you feeling about this board state, man?
It's kind of even at the moment. This turn will determine what really goes next.
Yeah.
And the really Forcemaster has 14 mana, and the Paladin has 14 mana, so they're kind of even there.
Yeah.
I would call the board state even. The Water Elemental being an excellent choice for the tactical board positioning types of effects out of a Forcemaster. That's a very complementary creature to help the Forcemaster get things arranged however she would like.
Yeah, that with Force Pull, you can definitely manipulate just a ton of different things.
Right.
I do want to point out that in this tournament, piercing actually allows you to reroll the number of dice that piercing is equal to. So Ballista actually does get rerolls against the Water Elemental, which is actually a really interesting dynamic.
Got that until Farkas pointed out to me after the match because I was so focused on zombies. I was like,
oh interesting.
Yeah, this works out with Water Elemental too.
Yeah,
I forgot that, but I don't think it would have mattered that much.
Okay.
It was just annoying because Ballista ends up being useful right now, but then it gets a little annoying later. And so here I put the challenge on, which also is probably surprising for some people. Haha, Jason, I'm playing aggressive Paladin now because I don't usually do that. I usually am more of the 20 turns and kill everything, and then I kill your mage or be aggressive. But now I'm actually going to charge in.
I would definitely agree with that analysis of your previous tournament games that I've seen.
Yeah,
So I'm
playing
curious
other
to
mages
see.
has helped that.
I'm curious to see how you're gonna kill him.
Yeah. Oh, this is a really
It's probably
way it's
movement
really
spells, I imagine.
sort of, yeah.
Okay, so that could be a Ballad of Courage, which isn't
Ooh.
likely. It could be Bloodthirsty. It could be an Arcane Ward. It could be any number of things. I went and guessed Bloodthirsty plus.
On the water elemental?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really interesting
elemental
enchantment.
is not psychic immune.
Yep.
It is not. So here I just shoot the bridge troll and I deal
4 damage out of 5 dice. That's actually pretty good.
Or 7. Yeah, my rolls were pretty good at the beginning, and then they got a little.
Oh, you
so
did against the
basically,
bridge troll. My bad.
Yeah. Basically, and is charge and just kill him and
about bear strength.
And then the Ballad of Courage, and then I'm adding melee with Bim, and so I'm basically just going in to kill him. And you'll see that.
That's even by the charge.
I have a flying sidekick in hand so that I can guarantee the kill. And yes, I have no armor on, and that's going to be a problem later.
It's always risky, man. Always risky.
Especially up next to the Forcemaster or the water elemental.
I know. I still stand by this decision because in my mind, I said, I feel like he's not going to expect. I feel like he's going to expect me because he knows a little bit about how I play. I said he's probably going to expect me to be more defensive here. I'm like murdering the bridge troll, which is amazing. But
yeah, that charge did wonders, man.
My philosophy with this was, okay, I'm probably going to take some damage. I didn't think the buffs on the Forcemaster were going to be melee. I just felt like in the moment that wasn't going to be the case. And I said, okay, I might take a lot of damage and I might get myself a little bit out of position, but if I can kill effectively, 9 something spellbook points and it only gets 1 counter off, and as a holy mage, he's probably going to try to he might race me, but then I can heal and get my armor on, and I have the spring, so that makes it easier with the actions. It just was tricky because that was my reasoning, and I still stand by that for why I made that decision.
Oh, and the flying sidekick against this bridge troll rolled that 6 dice.
I just want him to die. I hate bridge trolls. Actually, never tried them in Paladin. Nope. Never tried them in Paladin, which I probably should, but they're really good. I don't even have them in my warlord, actually. So he's just dead. He's
so that is a dead troll right there. I mean, that's the thing is, that's the thing. Like, you were super aggressive, so you could reduce the damage that was on the field for that Forcemaster. So I don't think necessarily having no armor at this point is terrible. Only because the worst thing that'll happen here is he could like Wall of Thorns push you with the elemental, but that's such an unlikely event to happen based on the game board.
Yes.
I wouldn't have been afraid at all of that.
Yeah, but what you now have is you have a damaged force or paladin.
Yes.
If that's a bloodthirsty X by the water elemental, he comes in and hits you for 7 dice.
That's fair.
And then if he pushes you, he could push you into the zone with the Forcemaster, who could have a bear strength and hit something else that could be 5 more dice. So you're going to get 12 dice on your mage, potentially.
That's actually a very legit reasoning. Is that?
It's tricky to talk about it because in the moment, I felt absolutely certain that he didn't have it. But in retrospect, I should have been probably more careful. I just felt in the moment that knowing little that I did about him, I felt like that play that I just made would have really surprised him, and he probably might have expected me to go to kill the water elemental first. So I said, well, maybe this is a defensive enchantment or something, because Paladin just annihilates resilient creatures now because of in-school piercing and things like that. So
yeah, but if it's in his book, he's going to use it, so it'll last until it's gone. So he's going to abuse the creature while it's there.
Oh man, he just kidnapped your mage. It was like, you're coming here now.
It wasn't good. It
that was so good.
This case worked out, but it was a little bit. It was more of like a psychological play than anything. I was like, I just want to, and here I double moved Dorcius to the other zone because I don't want like Wall of Force to just block them off or something. that would be awful. So I just like, let's go somewhere else.
Well, and Aaron's powered up now, so he doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily need to hang around together.
Yeah,
He
it's
doesn't
fine.
need that either.
I mean, you're basically zoning it out so that you can try and stop him if he tries to go one direction.
Yeah, I'm at 11 damage now. Yeah, okay, so yeah. Oh yeah, mana gets really important this turn.
Yeah, I mean, his Forcemaster being at 21 mana, that implies that he can pretty much do whatever he wants. So the question is, does he have the cards to actually make this turn still his advantage?
What's actually interesting is, the night before, I had actually, just because I wanted to test it out, built my own version of Julie's Forcemaster and had just played it to see what I thought about it. And you actually notice is, generally speaking, it is in a way a bit counterintuitive to run certain buffs for the big Forcemaster creatures. Like, okay, yes, bear strength on a grizzly is probably pretty good, but in a Forcemaster where you're spending 12 points on that, you probably want to spend them if you're going to enchant him on something defensive like Regrowth, because you need him to stay alive, and 7 dice is probably enough already. It was actually interesting to compare what I was doing a little previous night with what my opponent ended up doing in this match.
Yeah, Forcemaster has like a lot of interesting nuances in how they approach creatures, but regardless, I am a little afraid for your Paladin right now, only because it's a Forcemaster, it's Sicherheit's initiative, and he sort of has you cornered in a weird way. And you telling me you don't have teleports makes me very afraid.
So the water element hits him for 5, and then wall bashes him for 3 more. So
right.
Dice.
Yeah.
Not to mention Galvatar can definitely come out.
That was a concern. Plan this turn, I think. Yeah, it was basically my philosophy at this point is, okay, I killed the first creature. I'm probably going to take a ton of damage, but murder the water elemental and then swarm him with my 2 guys. And
there's no murdering a water elemental with no damage on it.
Interesting, yeah.
No, it's not.
You're going to need more mana than that, then.
Yeah, it's not. Basically, I plan to, because it's not my initiative this turn, start whittling it down with things like Pillar and Eye for an Eye, which are going to get not exactly trying to kill it this turn immediately, but what I'm trying to do is control the dice so that I can maneuver around a little bit. And then also, if I play Pillar in that zone, I can, depending on the force pull and what he wants to do with my other cards, I can sort of limit where his Forcemaster can go, because he doesn't want to go into a spot where he can't force pull the elemental out of the pillar or force pull me out or whatever. So it's sort of complicated. And now my Ballista's at a bad spot, which is not good.
I don't believe the force pull works on the elemental.
Because they're unstoppable.
Right, or unstoppable.
Oh, right, I remember that. Came up in the match, I think. Yeah, I had to, throughout the rest of them, I had to be really careful with how I use my actions, because I had to sometimes wait and take an extra hit with my guards just so that he couldn't force pull out, and this is Eye for an Eye.
He passes quick.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. Would have probably...
I mean, you got to think with 21 mana, he's saving that for something when you pass your quick like that.
Yeah, he has a plan this turn, which I will not like.
Oh man, it's always scary facing someone with this just floating mana and it's their initiative here. But I mean, you said you put Eye for an Eye on yourself, so that's pretty good against Resilient.
Yeah, it was. I think. Okay, so with no armor, effectively that's going to deal. Okay, we're talking statistic.
8 damage.
Yeah, it'll deal, depending on if he does the bash, it'll do 5, and then Pillar will do another 6 because of the double attacks.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the elemental hitting you.
Oh yeah,
because it'll hit him for 5, but then if he wall bashes, that's 3 more.
I think he actually pushes me. He pushed me into the other zone. Does the ball? I don't know. He might have pushed me to the right to keep me out of my
roll
and
2 off of 5 and no push.
He doesn't get the push, so it was a bad roll.
That was super unlucky. Yeah, but your Eye for an Eye didn't proc then. Oh man.
Yeah, it just didn't do very much, but that's okay. And so
luck goes both ways, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So here. Oh, right. I went too quickly because this was at like 1 in the morning and I was exhausted.
That happens, yeah.
It's just like, I want to go. Aaron, go, my friend.
It's Sachigan.
Actually, I've actually considered calling this book Pal and Pals. So,
I like it.
pretty fun. Yeah, but what does he do? What does he do?
Oh, he's going to chant you. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
This is important later.
I would guess.
God.
I would guess that's a rust.
Yeah, that was something I was thinking about. I think.
Man, it's such a shame that your Battle of Courage, like, considering an option of like running 2 in order to regroup would be actually viable here.
Yeah, I
Forcemaster
could have done that.
misses the defense. That's gonna hurt, man. No armor on this Forcemaster. 5 dice coming in from Aaron, dealing.
Yeah.
What is that gonna be? 7? Holy cow!
So I think at this point I'm like few points above, but I'm not sure.
That's
it
so
evens
good.
out a little bit later for me.
That's so good. 7 damage, and of course no one has armor on their mage, so it's just like, all right, I guess we're just gonna totally destroy each other. And I do want to point out that I think red dice, your creatures will out damage if that's really what's going to happen here in terms of a damage race. If they just no one puts on armor, but of course that's not going to be what the game is.
Yeah. And so point about running away with Ballad is a good one, but the problem is Pillar is range 0 to 1 and it doesn't like me. Oh, and this is where he starts. This is where he starts doing the annoying stuff. So yeah, they were range buff. This is where he does the annoying stuff.
We're gonna see some telebolts here.
Yeah, that becomes annoying later. Here he does something else first, and that was also not good.
Then again, he doesn't have that many cards in his deck, so it could be like rocks instead to save mana.
I didn't look at it, but I figure, or maybe I can't remember. But I think seeing the 2 big creatures, especially Water Elemental, I was like, there's no way. Yeah, I don't know.
I reveal Hawkeye, but then I punch him.
All right. I mean, I guess he's more like, all right, I have a Hawkeye. Freak out for a second. Now I'm gonna punch you in the face. I love it.
Yeah, because I really want to save this 20 mana for something else.
Yeah, man, absolutely. That's some serious saving.
Or I'm gonna beat you with all this mana not being used.
Yeah, the tar trap gets revealed.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
that's
wonderful
a really good
play. That was beautiful play from Sicherheit.
I actually didn't even think about that one, but even though Julie and I had also in our like 7-hour conversation discussed this, and here's Pillar because I want to just kill the elemental. Oh, this is a funny interaction that I've never seen before.
That's interesting because, like, obviously with
he has reverse attack, and it reverse attacks the pillar, which doesn't do anything. And oh god,
it just keeps the elemental from being damaged.
Did he pay the mana?
I think he did.
Yeah, he did pay the mana. I mean, I could see it. I could see paying 5 mana. He has so much excess.
He's essentially paying 5 mana to prevent 3 damage, and there's no burn chance because the Water Elemental is improved.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. So that's annoying.
A really interesting point. Tar Trap. All it does is it doesn't let you take your action. Non-spell actions anyway. So the really interesting thing about this card is that you can still move them. And which is why Tar Trap is actually a really interesting point with Water Elemental and Forcemaster.
It was a terrible roll. It did nothing. You need daze, but yeah.
You got a daze. That's actually really good to get a daze.
Yeah, it's so unlikely. The reverse attack should have kept it from getting any of
I think it's
this
upkeep.
was the pillar attack for next round.
Oh, the upkeep.
We just didn't do it.
Yeah, we seem to have
interesting
lost
about
our...
Tar Trap is...
Here we go.
It's really annoying for the Warlord because... Especially if you're going with like a solo or buddy Warlord, because they can just trap you and you're like, okay, I want to do all these melee attacks, and then you just can't, and you can't afford to dispel it because just be worthless, and you only probably have 1 to 2 dispels anyway, and you need those for the other important things. So it just won't work. So you need to plan around it, and you just say, aha, you're going to play Tar Trap this turn. What's my counter going to be? And the counter should never be dispel the Tar Trap for Warlord. That would just never work.
I mean, Dissipate 2 makes you want to go, okay, are they trying to kill me with the flame additional damage, or are they trying to just try to controlling this board state? That's actually why I really like Tar Trap as a card, because it's a very unique movement restriction. card.
I had a game against Biblo where I had 2 Seeking Dispels as a Paladin. First time, I thought it was a tar trap. I Seeking Dispelled it. It was Agony. Second time, he put another curse on me. I thought it was Enfeeble,
man.
so I force pushed myself so I didn't have to move, and it was another Agony. Just total waste.
We are going to see the Ballad of Courage dissipate out into existence.
I wish I had gotten more value out of that, but
I mean, that tar trap really tried to play into that too. But I don't know, Zad. So? How are you feeling, Zad, about this game board?
Given that he's been away from his other creatures, I think that even though he's got the pillar down, he's got an awful lot of damage on him.
Yeah, that was a concern.
Yeah, 20 away from death with no armor versus the what is this, 23
this is the
away?
Turn when the armor comes out, I think. But it's a really tricky turn because it does something that I really don't expect, and that complicates my choices quite a bit, and I'll explain that a little bit later when we see it in the first quick cast.
I mean, seeing a Hawkeye, that implicates he's going to be doing range attacks, so either we're going to probably see, like, I don't know, prepping an acid ball so we can maintain no armor on you,
like that,
or prepping some sort of, like, just high damage attack spells would be what I expect out of him.
Yeah, those came out later too.
Because there's, I mean, I guess he could do, like, poison blood to try to prevent you from healing, just to like murky it more. But I'm really curious to see what he does, because Doricius is of course out there, so that bypass is interesting. So
this was the play I didn't expect at all.
Oh, that's a force wave. Very nice play, Sicherheit. That was brilliant. Holy cow!
This round I had prepped Radiant Breastplate and Force Push. One, so that I could force push the elemental back into the pillar zone, or that I could force push a guard into my zone.
Force push on the elemental.
Yeah.
Really?
No, you can't.
Really?
It's uncontainable or unstoppable.
Okay. I just don't play against it enough, I guess.
Dude, that force wave was insane.
Did I do that in this match? I might have actually done that in that match, and he just didn't catch it. Or I don't remember. I can't remember. This was like, I was dead. I had been watching Shadowhunters.
It's okay, man. You don't have to make excuses. You're good, man. This tournament game. It's a worldwide tournament game.
Yeah, so here I was like, should I force push a guard into my zone, or should I cast armor? And I was like, I think I need armor because
yes,
I also made
armor
a
first,
mistake
man.
where I thought, for some reason, I thought Tar Trap gave me unmovable, so I couldn't get pushed. Then I was like, oh, that's not true.
That's
different. Not good.
I mean, that's the thing. If you chose to force push, Aaron could have come in and guarded, which would, it would change that whole defensive stance there. So I think regardless, he would have ended up casting healing before he took damage. Or armor,
probably
I think
he should have done that. Because in this situation, he can't just cast Force Pull and get one of my guys out there. So I probably should have even done that. I think I was fearing an attack spell, but it might come out this round. I don't know. Yeah, I might have actually Force pushed the elemental. He just didn't know. So that's not good.
That's fine.
That's why you bring teleports.
You pushed a ton of water in a wave fashion. It was just like, oh no!
The water elemental artwork is so amazing.
It really is. I love this artwork.
Oh yeah. Kind of looks like a Norse Jotun.
Yeah, I can imagine it's little water like hands up in the air, just like, no, this isn't possible.
So I don't even know what I'm gonna do now. So yeah, I mean legal plan is not. It would be okay.
Yeah, we are in the creature action phase, and I think it's your turn. Obviously, this is a really fine moment, so thinking here is like it could actually change the whole course of a game. This next action here.
I figured I need to protect myself against both his elemental and his mage.
Yeah, so what you do is you come down with one of those two creatures and guard into the zone down, then force push that guard into your zone.
Yeah.
I should have done that, but I played
the armor is also an excellent choice.
I mean, the ability to guard is actually super nice with the Radiant Breastplate. Oh, but now you have 4 mana. Oh no! Oh no!
I didn't guard because I wanted the 3 mana for the push just in case.
Yeah, and I think Sicherheit's play here is probably to get his water elemental. Hope that the daze works here, or goes past it and pushes you out of the zone. He gets past the daze. All right, and he is gonna push, and he's gonna deal 7 damage. That 2 armor really paying off here. Only taking 5.
That was really bad.
Super solid play from Sicherheit.
For what is to come.
Holy cow, the Tar Trap water elemental, super cool. I don't know if I've ever seen that combo before, so I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
Man.
I'd probably make the bad play where I force push the elemental into the zone because I'm like, yeah, force push on elemental, that totally works. Then I'm just like running in because
That's
no
fine.
force pull nonsense. We just run fun. It's bad.
Him running makes a lot of sense just because you need to catch up to what's going on down here.
Yeah, that was the problem. I got out of position, which usually I never let happen because I have a round of teleport, which of course I didn't have in this match because I don't have teleport. But
I mean,
here,
Tar Trap, Water Elemental, and Forcemaster, he's already going to control how movement works in a lot of ways.
yeah, so
and
here he's just trying to murder me, which is really bad.
This is a solid move. 8 dice off that boulder.
Yeah,
Getting statistically average. Rock on, dude.
When I saw this, I was like, he probably has this and maybe one more big attack spell because that's 4 points. And in a tight book like this, you probably are not going to run more than 2 big attacks. Might run a couple.
I mean, he has Hawkeye.
Fast,
I don't know if
yeah.
you take Hawkeye just for that.
Yeah, well,
Akira's favor. What?
I assumed big ones and then a couple smaller ones. It was tricky.
I see, yeah. All right, so he's probably going to want to reroll what, days?
Oh.
Or what is it, slam?
Slam roll.
Action. Yeah.
Which, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't want you to attack spell him or something like that, but...
Yeah, I wasn't planning to, but yeah, that makes sense. He doesn't know. I might, like, Ruinous Blast him and then just...
Yeah, this is probably wasn't going to do anything, but there you go.
No, he doesn't get it. So, I do that, which is not allowed.
The force push on the water elemental. Interesting. I mean, I could see the play there. Oh, on the Forcemaster, actually. Oh, okay.
No, he
just assumed.
Yeah, he was like, Forcemaster. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. This dot. We're not doing this.
Move the Forcemaster.
What I would have done if I knew that I couldn't do that was just run Dorcius 2 and then force push myself up.
Right.
Yes, I think I would have been the better play there too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would have force push. Actually, well, run him down and then force push myself into the pillar zone.
Right.
So yeah, I think rolls were really bad. Well, no, the next one was really good. But...
I mean, you got 2 damage off of it with Resilient. That's actually pretty decent.
I think this one was really good.
Oh, wow.
7.
Look at that. 7 damage. Are you kidding me? Holy cow, dude.
Right, but he shouldn't have been there.
Yeah. So. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It actually would have been even better for me if I hadn't pushed him in, because then I'm 2 away and I can, like, force push myself up next round so that the elemental can't even get to me.
I actually agree with you on that.
Yeah, it was tricky. I was like, I need to kill the water elemental now, and we're not challenging it because I'm just gonna get murdered if I do that.
And just so everyone knows about water elemental, unstoppable means you can't be hindered, and you're unmovable and uncontainable.
And can't get constrained, or cannot be restrained.
Yes, exactly.
Because it just oozes around the vines and things.
Yeah, it's
like blah, blah, blah. Caught the part where it couldn't be hindered, but we didn't catch the part about the force push because again, it was 1 a.m, but that's okay.
It's all good. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I think you guys are fine to play games.
I also didn't have a judge because it was way too early for any of you.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you guys are worried about, for anyone listening that's in the tournament, if you guys are worried about these sorts of rule problems in your game, feel free to just ask for a judge to be there and we can try to schedule it.
Mistake, but yes. So this turn, I'm 10 from dead, and I'm basically, I have to prevent the elemental from attacking me this round, and I have to do it in a way that can't get around. So
yeah, and you can't surging wave the elemental either.
That does not work.
That's so good.
That's annoying too. It was actually to my hindrance that the pillar has extra effect against non-living, because 2 times I rolled the burn and it didn't do anything. I was like, that's great. That's fine. Yes, and then I think this turn it's his initiative, so I think I'm fearing Poison Blood or something like that. So I think I might prep a Seeking Dispel. I can't remember. Something like that.
Interesting. Yeah.
That's really important.
And Zod, how are you feeling about this game?
Well, clearly, damage-wise, it's still all the Forcemaster. He's got control of the game, and he's got the Paladin reacting to while the Paladin's still trying to take advantage of his pillar being out, and a chance to get rid of the two big creatures that the Forcemaster brought. So if he can get rid of the two creatures, he's got a chance of wresting control back from the Forcemaster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
it's sort of an interesting dynamic that's happening right now because he has to get that 10 damage left, but Sicherheit only has 12 mana left. So we've been seeing the Hawkeye get pretty good use with that one boulder, but he doesn't have many high damage attack spells he can just deploy right away. So it's sort of interesting to think about how can he use that mana to his maximum here.
That was actually my logic this round in prepping, because he has 12 mana, yes, but I assume he's going to prep one attack spell and then one spell to get the elemental to position or something to negate that, or healing or whatever. And it's his initiative, so he might play Poison Blood.
Personally, I'd probably do Acid Ball and Telekinetic Bolt just to try to maximize the damage.
So another good option. He does something similar to that later, which is as annoying as it would have been in this point, but it's tricky. If you can snipe the Poison Blood correctly, and it's really hard to do that, but if you know generally when they're going to do it, you can actually get a huge tempo swing. And then because of Dorsey's, you essentially the heal on the next quick cast, if it's your initiative, you can get
I agree with that.
10 life swing, and usually they're just like, I can't win at this point.
Right. And the interesting thing is too that the battle happening way down here negates the positioning of the ballista.
That's a big deal.
That round, I should have moved one and cast the ballista like somewhere else. And here I play Wall of Thorns.
Wall of Thorns. Very cool.
You cast the Wall of Thorns.
I know.
I just don't want the elemental coming in my zone. And I didn't have a better counter because there's a certain card I didn't have in the book, which I thought I had in the book, and that haunts me later because it would have won me the game would have given me a kill shot of the next turn, which I would have gotten if I had it.
Now, for anyone that is watching this, whenever I see a Wall of Thorns get placed down, I just get very happy. Just because if a mage goes through it, it's just so fun to watch.
That being a two-edged sword casting it.
Yeah, right next to you, absolutely it is.
It was the only play I could make really in this situation.
I mean, you have 2 armor.
You could lesser teleport yourself up one zone even.
Yeah, but the problem is then I can get Force Bolt down, and then I get bash into the wall with the fire.
Sure, that's true.
That's the problem, because I had to be really careful with having quick cast available, because he could just force pull me or my creatures, and then I wouldn't get healing, or I would get snacked by something. So it was really mentally gyrating to this way, and this is a tricky turn.
Oh, the boulder comes down. That is unexpected but awesome, man. 8 damage or dice getting rolled, 7 getting going through. Let's see if he's gonna cure that. Probably a good idea too. Then again, it is 5 crits, so I mean.
Yeah, 5 crit is actually the number of this match. That's like the away from this match. There were like 7 rolls that were 5 crit on both sides.
Very nice. Crazy. Yeah, very nice. I mean, it probably should reroll it just because statistically you should deal 6 damage here.
He should deal 1 more. I don't know if he does though.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna let it go. That makes me think what is in his other card. Maybe it's an acid ball and he wants to get that 2 corrode guaranteed.
Acid ball, he only has 4 mana, so it's
you're right. Yes,
Invisible Fist or a rock or an enchantment.
Okay.
I remember what. Right. Is that? Oh God.
So that was his main action. I don't think he's doing a quick. Yeah. So let's see what Red Dice does here.
He moved, so he wasn't next to the wall.
Because he has no armor too. Oh my goodness.
I think 1 or 2 turns before this, I thought to myself, well, let's just ignore the water elemental and double push him through. But then I was like, oh, that won't work. And then I used one of my pushes, so I can't do a double push, which is annoying. He's out of position, but that's fine. So this is where I thought he didn't remember that he couldn't be hindered, so he could double move, and that's a good roll, I think. Yeah.
3 damage, super solid.
And so he's gonna, whatever is gonna happen, he's gonna go out of the pillar, which is okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably not going to do much this round, but just get into a position where he can do something next round.
He he does next, I think, is actually okay. One, he should pass here because I have to waste one of my actions and I can't attack the elemental immediately.
Let's see what goes down here. This is actually a really tense moment.
Okay, so he does pass. Dorcius.
That was a smart move.
Yeah,
He passed because he didn't want to move his water elemental to just die. So
Right.
yes. Oh. Okay, so I'm just gonna hit him.
Dorcius is doing the blessed horn move.
It's a really cool attack. It's just like holy spear of forehead.
Yeah, pretty much. 4 dice going in. Is he going to choose to defend himself with telekinesis? Defend. I don't know what's called. Deflect.
And he gets it right.
Very nice. Very nice.
Actually, won the match too. Dang.
He rolled a 12.
Now he's gonna move, and
sort of an interesting thing. If you go 2. Which he shouldn't. You could just kill him with the Paladin, but no, he's just gonna move 1, which is a smart idea here.
He could do that. That was.
I mean, it being Aaron's initiative.
Does he move
next round?
No. Okay, this was actually.
He did have a double move. Otherwise, he's gonna take a ballista shot.
Oh yeah, you're right. True. Very good point. Very good.
Yeah, but okay. Problem with. Yes, he would take the ballista shot, but if he only moved 1. There's a possibility that I won't kill him, and then I have to use my mage to go up, and then if I want to kill him, I couldn't go into the Dorcius zone. It's tricky because he made a calculated decision to run 2, and he was like, it's likely I would kill it either way because I have a melee attack.
The piercing allows rerolls, so he's very likely to die.
Yeah, the ballista would probably kill him. Yeah.
He doesn't know what I've prepped, and the other card is seeking, so it's useless. And it was just like, I'm gonna hit this thing, and it's probably gonna die. Because 5 dice, 2 damage is quite likely. I just
you have 5 crit on him. Oh my god!
There's another 5 crit roll.
Yeah.
Oh god, stop it. Oh.
It's one of those things where like you rolled really above average there, but it only mattered for a few points. So it's like, well, great, you know.
I rolled well, it didn't matter, and when he rolled well, it didn't matter. But that's how the dice goes.
I mean, he took out the water elemental, which honestly is like. Is a big deal, you know.
Becomes dicey for the Forcemaster.
Yeah, because now you're getting healing. Now you have more creatures that are passively dealing damage. I mean, the Forcemaster has no armor on, so it's like a really interesting point where he's like, I have to murder you now, or it's gonna run away.
Yeah, his philosophy is, I need to kill you now, or you're just going to heal, and that's why he played that enchantment. And
it's a smart move, I think. Honestly, try to assassinate you now in this, but let's see what happens. Pillar goes away, ran out of dissipates. Dorcius is going to heal 2 unless there's unholy reversal.
I actually asked about that, which wasn't I have to say I'm choosing to heal before he decides if he wants to reveal, so that Nab points that out in the chat. That's something to note about. It is my initiative, so that's good. But really didn't think at this point he would have a 3rd big attack spell because he's already shown 2 boulders, and that's 8 points. And that seems, if you're going to 3, you're probably going to be doing that in school. So I would expect some smaller force in school spells at this point. But I can't really risk the healing because it could be in blood at this point. I need to stop him from dealing damage to me, which is for 1 card, which I will use correctly in this round. But not fun.
Yeah, I mean, basically what I'm seeing in this is the match is like as a very narrow road, I think, for the Forcemaster. It's essentially, I think, just you have to win now. I mean, the Paladin having more mana, having more creatures on the board, things like that, means that he has to basically, can your Paladin survive or not?
Yes, that's next what round. His game plan is. I kill you or I die.
28 damage on you?
28 out of 36.
Yep, and it's my initiative. So I need to just not let him deal damage to me in the quick cast.
Ooh, and if you put a poison blood on you, that is brutal.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I was thinking he might have done it last round because if he had done it if I had he had used his quick, or used it in the final quick cast, and I had saved mine, I would have been able to do it, but then it didn't work because I had to use the thorns immediately. So Poison Blood, it's always important to remember whose initiative it is, and can you save one of your spell casting slots to with it, because if you have to act before they do, then it's useless to prep it because they'll just wait till the end of the round.
Did you heal your mage from Dorcius or not?
Yes, yeah. I did.
Okay.
So it's not
Unholy Reversal, right?
Yes, that would have been the really bad one.
Well, it depends how you think about that, because Dorcius healing would have meant 2 would have been prevented and 3 damage happening. But if you had a heal prepped for your initiative for quick cast, then you heal 8. So it's essentially you're saving 1 bit of healing preventing. Yes. So like
it's true.
So that's why you'd want, regardless if it was an holy reversal.
Yes.
But I mean, the clues of this chat is very clear that it's poison blood. So that's like one of those. Do you do a healing spell here, or I don't know, Aegis 1 or more armor? Because
to be honest,
they're seeking dispel.
Even if it was only unholy reversal, it probably would not have healed in the first quick cast, just because I don't want to risk rolling badly and then having him roll and take damage no other attack spell or something. So I want to make sure that I can prevent him from attacking me in the quick cast.
I guess during your quick cast, another tactic would be to like daze or stun him, just to try and prevent him further. Yeah.
That's what I do. I surging wave him because
it also has push. You push him left into the ballista.
That's a solid idea.
And then Aaron comes up and whacks him.
No, that's a really good idea.
The plan. And it goes well this round. And that gets a little tricky. Yeah,
because if you do manage to push and surging wave him with the slam/push, you can get a lot of dice on him. You get 3 from that, you get 5 from Aaron, and you get 5 from the ballista. That's 13 dice. It puts him up to 20 out of 30.
That's a lot of damage.
Yep.
I mean,
and
go for it.
No, and he's incapacitated while he's slammed. So
I mean, Surging Wave is one of those like really good anti-Forcemaster cards, just because it opens up a round of just like if you position your creatures or attack spells correctly, the ability to wait for the right moment. Say you're slammed, get a bunch of creature hits, maybe even during your quick cast the next round if you have initiative, get another hit in. Even if you don't have initiative, actually. It's
a Surging Wave comes.
Solid idea. So Surging Wave comes down.
Actually, it ends up getting the push, which is really good.
Ooh, the push and the slam. Gotta love it. Dealing, what'd you get? 3 damage? Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, so about that was average. Actually had a game against Biblis Forcemaster where I had like 20 damage on me, and I Surging Waved him out of courage, and Ballista shot him, and he was at 20 damage in 1 round. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that can happen.
Great.
I mean, Forcemaster is one of those like not gonna take damage, not gonna take damage, and then if there's an opportunity, it's like, oh, fun.
Just whack them.
So slammed. Basically, this Forcemaster is incapacitated. If anyone didn't know, basically that means he can't use his defense. So this Ballista gets a free hit, basically.
Then I use Aaron to just whack him. Otherwise, he'll go away or do other terrible things that I don't want to deal with.
Yep, and this is exactly what you want to see when you're dealing with the Forcemaster right here.
Yep.
Getting 6 damage off that Aaron, putting him up to 23 out of 30 for that Forcemaster. Nice. Holy cow. This game just turned into a kind of one-sided race
really
into... And this is kind of that board state, I think.
And he has 8 left on the Paladin.
So. And 2 armor.
Yeah.
There is still a mystery enchantment on that Paladin. Yeah, probably a Poison Blood. But we're going to have to wait and see.
Let's talk about that enchantment later.
This looks like that Forcemaster is going to move up, probably to get away from the 2 main actions.
Yes.
Going to get a daze off that. Are we going to see a spell go down that's not an attack spell?
He's going to put the daze on, I think.
He's taking the chance. I like hearing that. I mean, he has a Cura's Favor, so I get it.
This round he takes the chance. So this round it goes... Actually does not go in my favor this round.
With the Cura's Favor, he has insurance. There's that acid ball, man.
I think does he use it on the acid ball and he still misses it? I can't remember. Yeah, okay, so he still misses it, and then...
Wow, alright, man. That was unfortunate.
Well, but he has a hero. He could re-roll the day's roll.
He did.
And he still missed it. But this roll is just like terrible.
Here we go.
Oh,
the telekinetic bolt is what I've been waiting for, man. Those 5 dice coming in.
God.
5 crit. Dang.
He should have did the telekinetic bolt first.
He should have.
Dang.
And, okay.
He did so much damage there.
That's the problem.
6 damage going down with that 2 armor on 5 dice.
You have 2 hit points left.
So here, I actually think Seeking, even it's not Poison Blood. Ballad of Courage to bait me.
Oh, he Ballad of Courage you and led you on in the comment section. Sicherheit. When did you become so deceptive? I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, because if I'm not, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Okay.
I love it, man. I love it. That was so good.
Even if it was Poison Blood, I think Seeking Dispel was a mistake, and I should have played Eye for an Eye instead.
I agree.
Because I'll heal with the BIM and Dorceus, and that gets me down, and then I can do something to get me out of range of the Forcemaster. And so I had to move here. Fortunately, I had to move down, or I would have been in range for Quick Cast, which just does not work.
It's his initiative next round. Oh my god,
this is gonna be good. Eye on earlier.
This is gonna be so
round
good.
Where
you only have 3 hit points left. With a 2 armor, so that's a 5 damage anything. Is average.
So
he is going to heal 2, right?
That was after healing 2, wasn't it?
Ooh.
Yeah, but so if I had 1 card in the book, which I specifically had added for a different reason, but I for some reason don't have it anymore, would have won.
Teleport.
No, if I'd had Divine Intervention, I would have won.
Oh, Divine. That's one of those cards that you choose that as a Holy Mage, man. Does not belong in all holy books.
Would have just gone out of there and healed, but I didn't have it. So at this point, I'm 100% forced to heal, because he can absolutely have ranged attack spells, and I have to do that. There's no other option.
No, this is a heal moment all the way, man. I don't think that's bad to heal here at all.
Last round, if I had played for an Eye instead of it, I would have been able to do something like would have been ways for me to mitigate the damage, like adding more armor or Divine Reversal just to prevent it. And with Eye for an Eye, he's not incentivized to reroll it, because he can just kill himself. So
that's of course scary, yeah.
It's really tricky, because I misplayed the Seeking on, I think, 2 turns when I really thought it was coming, and then...
I mean, you want to take care of the Poison Blood to try and recover later. I don't think that was necessarily a bad idea.
This round is so painful. It just...
And Sicherheit with that chat, man. That was that mental out-of-game skill that he used there. Just being like, Poison Blood it might be, you know?
Yeah,
love it.
It's so sad, because he's such a nice guy, and yeah, he kills me in such a terrible way using my own wall. oh god.
Oh
Here
my
I
god,
heal,
that's
and
perfect.
Now
this heal is actually... I think the heal is a solid play here. You get 6 out of 8. That's unfortunate.
It was my only option without Divine Intervention, or another wall, which I don't have.
But I still think you're actually in a decent spot here.
I should have.
Let's see. He's got 11 mana here, so he's gonna do the bolts. Very smart play.
He got 5 crit.
He got
again,
5 crit. I should have dealt 3 damage. He's gonna deal 5 instead.
And then he does the push, which rolls like 200% damage.
He's got to get 6 damage out of that.
That was crazy. He pushes me through my own wall, which I also thought about prepping upheaval, but I was like, "There's no way he's gonna do that." He did. So
that was smart, man. I mean, this is one of those.
He prepped the best way to win.
I mean, Wall of Thorns kills so many players.
So
it's ridiculous.
Take 2. I take.
Yeah.
We got 2.
That's
another 2.
It's awful. Nobody plays Wall of Thorns.
Get out of here, man.
Of course you
and there it is. There's the damage.
You have to be a real dirtbag to do that to
So my other card in him was Force Push. Because I was going to Force Push him into my zone, into the 2 creatures, and then just whack him and kill him next round. It just didn't work, and he rolled too high.
That was a good game, man. I enjoyed this game, dude.
I really regret.
I don't know if I'd regret that, man. He played super well, and he had that out-of-game, making you nervous sense.
Red also played well too, because
he
has 20. What is it? 27 damage out of 30
Mm-hmm.
on the or is it 23?
It's 23.
Yeah, but still, that's 7 damage away from somebody with no armor.
Let me just
So,
say, I enjoyed that because it was a good game between two good players here. So that was a solid thing. You getting someone following us? Thanks, man.
I was
appreciate it.
really mad after this game. He played the best possible way that he could. I just was like, the dice just did not want me to win.
That's
and
what a
that's okay.
Forcemaster does. Is it does?
They're dirty dogs.
Absolutely.
They're my second favorite mage, and they're still dirty dogs.
I mean, that's basically.
I love Forcemaster.
I mean, I think Zot
so
pretty much
annoying.
summed it up. That's what Forcemaster does. You
Thank
know.
you.
Zot's just yeah.
I mean, honestly.
Zot's just like.
I mean, honestly, I know you're saying you like the Divine Intervention, but I really think Teleport can achieve very similar goals. Of what
I
you're
don't
talking
think a
about.
Paladin should be able to cast DI.
DI?
In this.
Eye for an eye?
No, DI. I don't think it should be in the Paladin's.
Oh, yeah, because it's like barely at that level.
Yeah.
That he can.
Incredibly. It and Enchantment Transfusion are incredibly dumb cards that should not work the way they do.
I mean, the ability to interrupt is really interesting when you think about it.
Canceling Gear Up with Divine Intervention is just dumb. It should not work.
It's just part of the game, you know?
It's like...
It's the real only true stack counterspell thing.
Yeah, I don't... There are ways to work around it. It's not broken. It's just really infuriating if you guess and you just get crushed because of that.
Well, they also have to spend like 10 mana to counterspell you.
And you need to time it well. But yeah, unfortunately on this last turn, Teleport wouldn't have done anything because my wall prevented me from teleporting away, so I could not get away, and that was not good. And I had to go down there because otherwise he could have just attack spelled me immediately, and with the 5 crit roll would have killed me. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because if I mean, I guess like barring the water elemental not being able to die because the pillar not doing that, I think it would have been a different game as well.
Would have actually been better for me if I hadn't done that, probably, because I would have been up and I would have healed too, and I would have been able to position myself so the elemental couldn't.
Yeah, there's a lot of like little nuances you can talk about it, you know.
Yeah, it was. There are many. I don't think okay. People in the comments or after watching this video, probably Farkas will say, you should have put armor on early, and yes, you should put armor on. I have lost way too many matches. Biblo has just forced pushed me to a ball of thorns when I killed his tree. It was
Biblo
terrible.
will do that, man.
I still defend that in the moment, I think it was, yes, I could have been absolutely punished. I was probably a little too overconfident that he didn't have plus melee buffs and anything. But I still defend the choice to run in because I thought that if slightly above average rolls from him, I would be able to outlast, and which is what I normally do. But if dice just decide to deal 5 crit 3 times in a row, you can't do anything. And it just didn't go my way because I was playing for 2-3 points above, not like 6 in those 2 final rounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear you.
Not great. I actually think my rolls were pretty good in the beginning, but then I think they actually stalled off. Like, yes, I had the 7 damage hit against the water elemental, which should not have happened also. But he dealt like 1 and 0 damage before that, so it was actually 2 or 1 below average, and so it was really tough. If I had Divine Intervention, I would have been able to wait it out this turn because I would have gone to the other side of the wall, cheated, and then probably not go in range or anything just because I don't want to get attack spelled again.
There's a lot of nuances. Absolutely.
So yeah, I didn't know my opponent at all, so I just chose a comfort book and I chose to open in a way that I felt like would work. And I had actually never, I don't think ever in my life, done that aggressive ballad play, which is fine.
I think it worked out. You murdered that troll. Honestly,
what I would have done. Usually at that point, I would have had. Typically, what I used to do is I would have opened with Mana Crystal Battleforge and then get Aaron out and regrove and heal him. And then what I would start doing on turn 4 or 5, if they had like 1 or 2 creatures, I would get a teleport wand out and just kidnap them all and murder them. Because I had a Forge in this book, but I didn't play it because I felt like it would be too slow and the Ballista would get more value, which it didn't because I didn't move close enough.
I mean, that's the thing. Is like you have more aggressive plays, and so you take care of their threats faster. But I really think that when he started kidnapping you, and you not running with your ballad advantage, instead wanting to get, like sort of be like, all right, I guess we're playing here. That really prevented that ballista from helping out, and it really prevented a lot of other things like Dorcia's healing being a factor and stuff like that.
I don't run the what are they, the steadfast boots, because those, I just do not like them, and I actually don't think they're helpful against Forcemaster, because then you can't get away from her and she'll just pull out your guys and kill them. Those would, I don't
It's
think
an interesting thought. Yeah,
helpful.
I mean,
Might have been helpful in this match, but yeah, no.
It's always rough to say what ifs in these sorts of situations, because you don't know how they'd react. You know.
I feel like it could have gone. Honestly, I think the end result of this game, both played very well. I think we both had some misplays. Like, I don't think the reverse attack on the water elemental was a misplay. It just didn't end up doing anything. But I think, honestly, this game is just like example of both players played really well, and it just came down to one player had better roles in the beginning and one player had better roles at the end, and it just didn't go my way, which was annoying.
I think
it
was just solid play on both sides. Like Sicherheit,
really well.
that Hawkeye Heroes was just he used it.
I didn't expect it. He played that well, and I didn't expect the second boulder. I thought he would only have one, so I was a little caught off guard by that. And then the dice, which is ironic because my tag is red dice, so you would think they favor me, but they don't. So,
well, I think the meta move was pretty much the Ballad of Poison Blood.
The Valios. Oh my god, that was so good. The chat just being like, or when he's Sicherheit's in the chat, just like, dude, so you know, am I gonna reveal this for Dorcius? And he's like, I don't know. And, oh my god, he totally just made it sound like that.
In the match,
so good.
When I seeking to spell it, he was like, there was no better use for this, so I'm just gonna put it on you.
I was
like, oh, that's terrible.
So good.
Although for this being my least favorite matchup other than Wizard, which Hot knows all about, I think I actually did pretty well, and I told Julie about the match, and he's probably the best Forcemaster player that I know, and he was like, yeah, this sounded like you did a pretty good job, so I'm proud of you. And I was like, thanks, Julie, this is good for me.
All right, Zat, before we do outros, do you want to give some final thoughts?
Solid match. It seems that we're seeing some interesting things out of the Mod Wars, and I would expect future matches to be just as interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much the rules affected this match. I don't know. It seems like it was a pretty straight up match.
It didn't affect the match at all, except the 10 channel.
Oh yeah, the 10 channel was a thing. I mean, maybe Mage Wands, but I don't think we would have seen Mage Wands.
Yeah, that wouldn't have really mattered. I would have got one.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me in this game. Always good to have you, Zod. Always good to. I think it's the first time you commentating, Red Dice.
It is, and I'm offering my services for the rest of the tournament because I have more time now that school is a little bit different. So I will be around and willing to help out.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. You know, as we need people, I'll probably give a shout out if anybody else wants to commentate, and you know you're not watching the YouTube and it's like a year from now. Just shoot me a PM if you're interested too, because I love having people on just to, you know, sort of give some like, this is what I think, and getting their perspectives and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Zot, always good having you here, man. I miss hanging out with you, man. All right, well, we are going to end this recording. Let me just say, if you guys are watching from the YouTube, we have a whole playlist of Mod Wars tournament stuff. We're just going to keep adding them as we have. We have one more game to cast. I don't think we're going to get to that today, but you know, feel free to check out the forums. I also post a Discord link for you know, future tournaments whenever we announce those, things like that. So feel free to check those out. And
give Arcane Duels a like and a subscribe.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Like, subscribe. If you want to check out my Twitch, I'm just going to plug it really fast. It's twitch.tv/Coshade1. I play some other games besides Mage Wars, but, you know, I always love doing Mage Wars stuff, too. So we're going to end this recording. And thanks, guys.
Thanks for having me.